Welcome back to Big Motor Small Blade. I'm Seth. We got Matt here, and we're here to talk about not one, but technically two IndyCar races, even though we're going to skirt by the Gateway one. Matt was a little busy last week, and I really didn't feel like it. So, we're gonna talk about Gateway and Road America this week. Matt, how you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing great. Yeah, I was out in the wonderful Iowa last week. So good time. I could have either gone to St. Louis or Road America, and I did neither. So that's on me. I'll take that. I'll take the blame for that. But
I feel that these days. So
yeah, it just didn't happen.
yeah.
I didn't feel like rerouting a flight, and I was just like, we're not doing it. But nonetheless, we had two stellar IndyCar races over the past 2 weeks that I'm looking forward to talking about. So
Yes, we did. And we'll go ahead and jump into the Gateway discussion. We're not going to get super in depth into the Gateway discussion, but first thing I guess I want to talk about, the Foyt cars have been super quick as of recently.
yes.
And David Malukas looked like he was going to make my prediction come true there for half a minute. And then he got in the wall, got in the gray, got in the wall, and that was kind of all she wrote. Kind of a bummer, but
yeah, I was really pulling for Malukas there. I feel like he's due for a win. He's just gotta. It's almost like now that there's being a rookie, and then there's when you're not driving a good car or anything, and then there's your first times that you're really fighting for wins, and those are two vastly different things. And I feel like right now he's having his early stages of being in the front, so he's learning a lot more. Because typically we haven't seen Malukas at the front. We haven't seen him fighting for wins. I think the move at Gateway, he was a little too aggressive. Like Kirkwood was on cold tires, he was on an out lap. Like try to get a good run off of turn 4. Don't try and force something on the outside. It was just an ill move. I don't. He knows more than us. Maybe he had to make that move right there. I feel like passing was in the realm of what was happening during the race. So Kirkwood's still on cold tires. So I feel like he should have waited. But nonetheless, that's 1 minute's opinion.
I wonder if part of his impatience there or just desperation was due to when it got strung out, he was struggling getting through lap cars.
He was.
So I halfway bet some of that desperation came from, oh God, if I don't get him right now, I'm not going to get him because I couldn't get him earlier.
Yeah.
Not him specifically, but I bet that's just inexperience. And I bet all of that was just inexperience because it didn't seem like everyone else had that as big of an issue getting through the lap cars. Some issue, obviously. We still have some dirty air issues.
I think he had a good car up front, but I don't think he really had the best. Because at first it looked like he was the man, but it's because everybody in front of him kept having issues.
Yeah.
So it's tough to say. I think he had a really good car. I think he had a top 5 car, top 3 speed wise, but I don't think he had a car to win for sure. But he was up there fighting for it and led a lot of laps. But,
yeah. And then we got to later in the race, and it's looking like deja vu all over again. Joseph Newgarden is leading the race, and it looked like he was checking out to me. Maybe definitely too early to give it to him, but it looked like he had the car. And just another moment for the Penske Racing team this year, and Joseph specifically. But who was it? Louis Foster got up in the gray and hit the wall and lost control. And Newgarden unfortunately was making because initially when I looked at it, let me finish that thought before I start a new one. Unfortunately, was making a move on the car directly in front of him, and just never saw the spinning car of Louis Foster.
Yeah, I mean, he has a spotter though, so it's tough.
Yeah,
it's tough to pick which way you're going to go there. So it's unfortunate. I mean, there's nothing Louis Foster could do. He's a passenger at that point the whole way. As soon as he lost control of the car, it's just unfortunate that happens right in front of the leader. Another case of where's the yellow IndyCar.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if it helps Newgarden there because it's all happening so fast, but the fact that the yellow is thrown once he's upside down is a little outrageous.
Yeah.
Feel like you could have thrown it anywhere before Newgarden was on his lid. Whether it's right before he impacts, whatever. That yellow needed to be thrown away sooner. But
we'll
have him do independent officiating next year. Hopefully that helps with that.
Hopefully. I mean, yeah, I think it's definitely likely that if it's thrown 3 seconds earlier, Joseph's out of the throttle and has a better opportunity to avoid the accident.
Yes.
Yeah, so just unfortunate all around there. Obviously Joseph did not want to comment after that. I don't blame him. I wouldn't have
Can't blame him
either.
either. He was going to win the race.
Yeah. So yeah, super unfortunate there. Cut to not too long after, Connor Daly looked like he was going to will that car to victory for a little bit of time.
Yes.
It didn't last super long, but I mean
Nope.
he drove that thing around. Actually, I think that was the next restart. Drove it around
No,
Pato. No,
no,
not
this
quite.
was no, the New Garden thing happened at the beginning of the race, and then Malukas led for a while.
Oh, he led after that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Malukas was it was the last pit stop is when Malukas had his issue.
Okay. For
Yeah.
some reason, I remember that happened in the daytime. My brain does not work these days.
Yeah,
But
Malukas led the most laps, I believe.
yeah. Yeah, that checks out. So anyway, yes, ignore what I just said. Cut to way later in the race. And Connor Daly drives that thing around Pato. Took a lot out of him to
Yep.
do. Did not have the car in the long run, unfortunately, that Pato and the other guys had. But still, I mean, I think we've come to expect this out of Connor on a short oval, especially.
Yes, I mean this is his favorite track.
Yeah,
So
it's his
other
favorite
than
track.
excluding Indianapolis, but
Indianapolis. I I'd be shocked if we don't see this out of him at Milwaukee again.
yeah.
Obviously, he went from basically last to third at Milwaukee. I don't know exactly where he started, but
He also went from unemployed to employed for that race last year, basically. I think he
yeah,
raced a couple before, but I mean that's the race that got him a job this year.
yeah.
So
So still, either way, even though he did not win, I am someone who would love to see Connor Daly win a race. Even though he did not win, very happy to see him running that well. Hopefully they can take that and build on it and bring a car at Milwaukee that is absolutely capable of winning. So
yep.
we'll have to see about that.
That
And
being said, those cars were not super good at Road
no,
America.
no, they were not.
He wrecked in the same turn.
Yeah, yeah, he did. But before we get to that, the race went a little crazy at Gateway at the end. It turned into a bit of a fuel mileage race. And somehow that does not end up with a Scott Dixon victory, but it did end up with a Kyle Kirkwood victory, which officially makes Gateway a street course. I hate
to. That's pretty good. Yeah, agreed.
So we've lost a short oval on the schedule. It is now a street course. I don't make the rules, even though I'm totally making this up myself. I claim I don't make the rules. So yeah, Kyle Kirkwood gets the victory, his third on the season, and continues the streak of just Alex Palou and Kyle Kirkwood winning races. I have a question for that, but we're going to wait till after this because it will still apply.
Okay.
Of course.
Yep.
So now we go to Road America. And this thing was a chaotic mess from the start.
Oh, yeah. No, this was, I mean, no offense, but the guy who took out the leader in the race before started on pole. I mean, not his fault, but just off the rip, you're just like, what is going on? And granted, last year there was a rookie on pole too, and nobody knows where he is now. He's in Indianapolis somewhere. We don't know where, but he's in the city. But obviously, talking about Linus Lundqvist, he won the pole last year. This year, we had Louis Foster winning the pole as a rookie. I mean, he was the Alex Palou last year of Indy Next, or the Dennis Hauger this year, however you want to put it. Either way,
Yep.
like Louis Foster is a very talented driver. He's just not in a great car, which is that's how your career should start. But
yeah,
chaos from the start.
Oh yeah, yeah. We made it all the way to the second corner before we ended up with David Malukas off
Yes.
in the kitty litter. Completely on his own, I would say. Just overdrove it, ended up in the back of Christian Lundgaard and ended up in the gravel.
Yep.
But we got back going again, and I do not remember how long we lasted there.
Got to like got like a lap or two.
Got a lap or
We
two.
got like 3 laps, and then we saw Schwartzman have an issue in Canada corner.
Yeah, that was it looked like he way overdrove that, or did he get punted? I cannot remember. I
Pretty
think
sure
he
he
just
overdrove it.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
he
it
just
was
overdrove it.
he had an issue in warm up as well. So I
Dude.
think he was pushing a little too hard. We saw a road course, something he's used to, something he should dominate at. And I just don't think it turned out too well for him. Well, I know it didn't because he finished last.
Yeah, we saw that it didn't work out for him.
Hey, that Indy pole was cool.
It sure was, and it's starting to look like it's going to be the highlight of their season. But it's a first year team, rookie driver.
There was a ton of speculation that they weren't even going to be ready for St. Pete. So, yeah, I mean, they're already doing what they can and delivering decent results. I mean, they're outperforming other teams, which is, shouldn't be happening, but, they are. So,
yeah. So ultimately, I think the results for the rest of the season are somewhat inconsequential for them. I think they've already gone. I mean, unless they completely fall off a cliff, but I would say they've done enough to build off of coming or going into seasons future. I don't know. I think I could have worded that slightly worse, but not much.
I was following.
You're like, I'm aware of what you're saying, but yeah,
I hear the words that you were speaking.
I guess that's all I can ask for at times. But yeah, then we get going again. And then Stingray Billy Bob. I didn't know what to make of this one. He just
misjudged it.
Yeah.
I mean, very bad. I've never driven an IndyCar, right? But when you go to turn and then you go to put down all the brakes, you're going to lose the rear end. And he's just like, I don't know what happened. I'm like, I know what happened. You were turning and trying to brake. You locked up the tires and you were a passenger, dude. Like, it's just, you can't wiggle the car, hit the brakes, and then expect not to crash. So I'm glad he didn't hit Armstrong there. Very easily could have. So, I mean, good driving from him. But yeah, I felt like it was pretty obvious what happened. And it's unfortunate. I mean, I don't think they were in a position to do anything anyways, but it's Stingray Bob. Everybody likes Stingray Bob. So,
yeah. And I mean, Stingray Bob, I think, has had I would say, significantly better season than he has in the last couple. But yeah, this one felt very vintage Stingray Rob. And hopefully that doesn't continue. I don't really have anything else for that, but
yeah, I mean, whatever. Yeah, it was, it's unfortunate for him, but it didn't matter at the end of the day. I hate to say it. I don't care. Moving on. Like, I just couldn't care less.
Yeah. That's a fair way to put it. And we get back going once again and get a handful of laps in. I don't remember. But a handful. And then Connor Daly did very similarly, or not very similarly, in the same corner.
Same turn, yeah.
Yeah.
It's in the gravel trap.
Which was a bummer. But yeah.
It was a rough weekend for him, so he wasn't running super hot. It's just unfortunate. He almost took out Rossi on the first lap. Noted.
Hold Matt back, guys. Hold him back.
Not happy, Connor. But
almost. He didn't actually, though.
Both Junco's cars had issues. That's unfortunate for them.
Yeah. Yeah. But, oh well, again, it all kind of rolled the way this race ended up. It just kind of all rolls off the back for me, because it's just like this happened and then this happened and then this happened. And nothing stands out as far as the incidents go. Well, I guess other than Stingray, just because.
I mean, the big thing, like, the incidents happen, but the thing, like, the incidents don't matter. It's the pit sequencing that matters. The different strategies that were playing out for the yellows.
Yeah.
So that's when we saw Dixon, Pato, and Rossi. They were the main runners in that strategy that were up front. They all pit in like 3 laps into the race, and I think again on like lap 9. And then after like the lap 20 caution-ish, everyone else pitted. So you just saw these different strategies all playing out, and then more yellows, that creates another strategy. So at one point we had like 3 or 4 strategies going just due to all the yellows,
Yeah.
which is cool and exciting. But I think the first thing you need to have in your mind when that happens is, how is Alex Palou going to win this race?
Mm-hmm.
Because Barry Wanzer up on that timing stand has been right every single time. And there's one point in the race I looked, Palou was behind Siegel, I think, something like that. Either way, somebody on a different strategy. He was running in seventh, and he was behind a guy off strategy, off his strategy, you could say. And he wasn't passing him. And I'm like, I know Palou has a good enough car. And I'm like, he is saving fuel right there. And like, he is not passing. Everybody else was being, but the thing, like, he was not trying to pass anyone. People in front of him kept making mistakes and he kept picking up position. So it's a thing that we mentioned again in the Indy 500 is how many teams are going to hand Alex Palou the win. And it just seems like it continues to happen, which granted, those spots, those people are off strategy. I don't know if that even really plays an impact in how his strategy played out there, but they're giving him free positions so that no matter where the yellows flew, he was going to be running up front. So,
Well, yeah, I mean, you mentioned that both incidents between Will Power and Kyle Kirkwood resulted in 2 positions gained for Alex
yes.
Palou. And no Newgarden and McLaughlin got into it.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing.
Yep. Gave him
So
positions. It's just,
it's like,
Palou doesn't even have to like fight anymore. Like
yeah,
for wins, it feels like. And he is. Absolutely he is. I mean, they granted he was 2 laps better on field. Dixon pitted 2 laps, getting ahead of myself. But the way the strategy played out, I don't think any of that would have mattered. Just simply how everything played out. If it was a like on track battle, everybody was on the same strategy, then yes, those positions absolutely matter. But that wasn't the case.
yeah.
So it's just funny to see people just mess up in front of him all the time. Just like, what? Does he really have that much of an impact on people's performance right now? It seems like it.
He's using the old intimidate button.
He really, that's good. That's good. The
Yeah.
big motor, small blade fans will love that. But
But I mean, it goes back to what I said a handful of weeks ago, and I can't remember. I think it was Indy, but like at some point, like you mentioned, these guys are just giving him spots
yep,
and not making him work as hard as he should have to win these races. And at some point, is this not just embarrassing?
yeah,
Because Palou was like, he had a great car this weekend,
yeah,
but I don't think he had the best car. And he wasn't even first on his strategy for the whole race.
no,
So it's like, how did you do it? How did y'all give it to him again?
yeah.
I don't know, dude.
It's impressive. It's genuinely impressive at this point. Not for him, everybody. It's impressive how much other people continue to fold in the moments where they can win a race. Like this is just, I felt like it was a crapshoot race where, and granted, if another yellow falls, we see a different winner. That's just the reality. If a yellow falls, probably Felix wins. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it's just insane to me how they keep finding themselves on the right side of the coin every single time.
Yeah. I mean, I think part of it is I think partially the other teams are overcomplicating it. I think that comes down to getting beat so often. I think they're in their own head to the point where they're just overcomplicating it.
Yeah, but
Partially. I mean,
I don't
the
think.
guys ahead of him already, I think, are doing that.
Yeah, I would say this race in St. Pete, I would not classify as people are overcomplicating it because I think they just had the best strategy. Maybe even throw in Indy GP because let's put it. I mean, Ray Hall had a good car at the Indy GP, but you can't expect that car to hold on against Alex Palou when he's running. They're running nose to tail the whole race. I
Yeah.
think those 3 races. I think Alex Palou just straight up won, like including this weekend, everything else. But the other races, like Thermal's the best example. That's overcomplicating it for
Yeah.
McLaren. Like it is a clear strategy flaw. This race, the way the Yellows played, I don't see it as a strategy flaw from anybody else. People pitted when they want, they gambled. It worked out for Palou the best. That's how I see it.
Yeah. I mean, for this week, I don't mean it. in a strategy flaw sense. I just mean it in a taking yourself out. This one's more on the drivers to me.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which, I mean, like you've said before, that's racing. And I get that. That is racing. But at the same time, it gets to a point where I need to see more out of my professional racing drivers than giving the best guy in the sport free spots all the time. Like that drives me up a wall.
Agreed.
Make a better pass. If you're going to give him a free spot, that's fine. As long as it's the guy you passed and you don't get passed.
Yep.
But maybe still try and avoid it. But I guess we jumped over it, but Scott Dixon I would almost argue Scott Dixon was like a caution away from getting to the end.
Yeah, I mean, if caution comes out, he can save fuel, make it to the end for sure. Yeah, so, depending when it comes out, obviously. But
depending on how long the cleanup is and all sorts of things. But never really felt like he was going to make it. They were pretty adamant they were 2 laps short.
Yeah, that didn't seem realistic at all. Yeah. So
2 laps.
No surprise there.
2 laps at Road America, you're not saving that under green.
No.
Even Scott Dixon of all people, not. So now we know, like, it is genuinely impossible. If Scott Dixon can't do it, then no one's doing it.
No one did.
Yep. Yeah. So, and
Pillow hit the same fuel number as him. He made it. He pitted 2 laps later.
Pillow is
same fuel number.
He ran the cool down lap too, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Entirely. So, look for half a second. Like Felix might have been able to run him down. And then as soon as Scott pulled off, that was over.
Yep.
So that damn Spaniard again.
Hey, he's pretty good at his day job, man. What can we say?
He is very good at his day job.
He's very good. He's an incredible driver. I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore, man. I just get my hopes up. I'm like, oh, rookie's on pole. Oh, there's chaos. And it's like, right, Alex Pillow's going to win the race. Who cares? So
yeah,
I mean, it was a good race nonetheless. I enjoyed it. A lot of on-track action. We saw Lundgaard and Kirkwood fighting up there. It was very enjoyable to watch. Just you get to the last 10 laps and you're like, oh my gosh, it's gonna happen again. Like, it's just unreal. So.
And now we are halfway through the season and 2 drivers have won races.
Yes.
Which part of me thinks it's kind of cool. The part of me that is the part of me that there's a part of me. Okay, so I'll break it down. My thought process. There's a part of me that really likes dominance because I think it feels like really well earned and it makes it feel like prestigious almost.
Yep.
And then the other part of me is like the monkey brain part of me that's like, holy shit, why?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess. I mean, it's like you said, or like you have said, it's thoroughly impressive. And I mean, especially for the other guy being Kyle Kirkwood, which obviously we knew Kyle Kirkwood was a good race car driver. I don't think if you told me there would only be 2 winners through this point in the season, I don't think my other guess would have been Kyle Kirkwood.
Yeah.
I don't know who it would have been, but there's been 3 ovals. 2 ovals. I would have probably guessed that the other was Joseph Newgarden. That would have probably been my guess.
Reasonable.
And at this point, I'm starting to think they are not going to win this season. I'm kind of not thinking Penske's going to win. They just seem to throw it away at every opportunity. Honestly, I think I'm honestly at the point where I'm thinking the 3rd winner this season is going to come from the AJ Foyt stable.
Yeah. Reasonable.
I mean,
I feel like their performance isn't going to stay as good as it is, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Yeah. It seems like a lot of like you see teams that come and go like this, and I don't know if they have the framework in their team to necessarily be this consistent all the time. I'd love to be wrong. I think they're both cool drivers, and I think they're good if they're running well. I think it's exciting. I think Santino's exciting. I mean, he cracked a beer, right after the race from the fans. I mean, if you, that's the excitement that any sports fan likes to see. That's a hell yeah moment for sure.
Oh yeah.
I think it's insane that Joseph Newgarden's 17th points.
I didn't realize it was that bad.
It's that bad. I mean,
Golly.
names that are above him: Rinus VK, Marcus Armstrong, which he's had a good year, but they've had a lot of bad results too. Just random races that were thrown away.
Yeah.
Christian Rasmussen, the best one of them all, Kiffin Simpson, is better than Joseph Newgarden this year.
That is, if that's not panic button time, I don't know what is.
What's the issue? I mean, his teammates are 7th and 8th.
I mean, the issue, unfortunately, is when he's not getting in his own way, it's something else.
Yeah.
I mean, like they had a car capable of winning Indianapolis, fuel pump goes out.
Yep.
They had a car capable of winning Gateway, Louis Foster crashes in front of him. So, and then on top of that, this week, he just crashed it when they were probably going to have a top 5 car.
Yep. Agreed. They had a good car.
I don't know. I don't remember what their strategy was. It might not have worked out for him, but I think, well,
he was on Pelouse at one point.
He was on Pelouse. I think they might have been right behind Alex Palou.
They were running around each other pretty much up until that point. Yes.
So likely would have been on track for a top 5 or maybe even a podium. Just threw it away, crashing by himself. I'm trying to think. Not exactly the same thing, but they were going to finish P2 at St. Petersburg, ran out of gas, finished P3. So not as big of an issue as some of these other ones, but that's points they threw away.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I do not know. That I think they will probably get it together and win either one or one. Is there? We're still doing 2 Iowa races, right? Or no? Is it just one this year?
It's just one.
Okay.
Don't quote me.
That sounds right. I think. Are we doing any doubleheaders? Is Milwaukee a doubleheader?
No, Milwaukee isn't a doubleheader anymore, but that makes me think that Iowa might be. Oh, give me a second. Yeah, it's a doubleheader.
Okay, Iowa's a doubleheader. So part of me thinks he will win one of the Iowa races.
That's reasonable.
Or Milwaukee, one of those. Maybe Nashville. So yeah, I mean, there's still good opportunities for him. And well, I say they've been better on road courses. They've always been good at Road America. So I guess that doesn't really, I don't know. And they're not qualifying very well either.
No, they are not.
So
this has been a weird year for qualifying, though. I feel like
it has, for sure.
It has been very, very strange, which, teams can control that. That's not something you can blame, like, oh, impeding. But
yeah,
I mean, they should have qualified well at the Indy 500. That's one thing. Cost some people some jobs. That's not a funny joke to make.
Yeah.
It's just, I feel like the one thing about Penske cars that I always remember is that they're the best handling cars. When you watch them on the onboard, they are moving their hands the absolute least of anybody. And lately, it just does not seem like they have fast enough handling cars. I feel like they're overperforming, which is insane to say that they're overperforming in the car that they have right now. Whatever they have going on, I think this is before the firings, all of that. I genuinely think it is. Before all of the drama happened, their cars do not handle on the road courses and street courses like they used to. They're not dominant. And I think you're really just seeing, I think Scotty Mack's just a really, really good driver. Not that Joseph isn't. Like you said, he's just getting in his way. I think he'd have a fine season going on and we wouldn't be saying much. I think he'd be right up there in 7th and 8th in the championship. But those cars, they just do not seem like they are the cream of the crop anymore. I don't know what it is. Not a technical guy. Don't work on the cars. That's just, it doesn't seem like they have that edge anymore, because Road America used to be a bread and butter for them, where an IndyCar is performing its best and doing everything that it should. The Penske always performed the best, and it's just not doing that anymore.
Does it feel a little, yeah, I'll say it, fuck it. Honda is the one that pushed for the hybrid unit.
Yeah.
And we've only had Honda winners this season.
Correct.
Does that feel a little icky? Because it seems like the Chevys haven't had, for whatever reason, whether it's between the engines or just the way it works with their damper package or whatever, um, they just haven't had it. Like, I mean, I know I mentioned AJ Foyt Racing, but they've been kind of where in the last like handful, like month and a half or whatever, they've been where Penske like should be, but that's still not really tasting victory lane, except at Gateway. But on the road courses, like they've been good, but they're not going to win the race, barring wild strategy or whatever.
Yeah.
Part of me thinks that's related. The other part of me thinks that's silly, but I have no way of proving that one way or the other. So maybe I shouldn't have brought it up, but
yeah, I mean, I get where you're going. It's just, I don't, do I think that the Honda teams could possibly have been more prepared for the hybrid? Yes. Honda didn't develop the hybrid, so I don't throw it that there's extra performance in Honda's hybrid because it's a third party. It's not made by Chevy or Honda. So I throw that out. I mean, I think the best driver is winning the races. I think Alex Blow is the best driver in IndyCar by a million miles. I find it weird that the Chevys are still performing well. Like, they haven't won a race, but they're still good. And they're up there. Like, Pato's third in points and has finished second a handful of times this year, twice. Handful. It's not a clear, like in years past, 2015, let's take a look. Whenever Chevy came out with the dominant aero kit that year, really they kind of dominated other than Indianapolis due to the engines, but pretty much were the best road course team when it came across. I don't feel like it's that kind of domination where they're locking out like the top 5 or anything like that. So it's really strange. Like I get with where you're going. It's just weird that Chevys are still running well and still have chances to win races. So it's just not like that clear domination by one manufacturer. But when you look at the results, it is. So you look at the race winners, it's all Hondas. So
yeah, I mean, certainly. But again, I think again, you dive back into the races and you see a lot of the Chevys kind of just taking themselves out of contention.
Yeah.
Which I know that goes completely against my previous, I don't even know if I'd call it a point, but that's an argument against that point, I guess. But I don't know. It's still so, I think part of what makes it feel so odd to me is that the other guy winning that's not Polo is driving an Andretti car.
Yes.
And I think part of my confusion comes from the fact that we've gotten to a point now where it's really hard to make gains in this car.
Yes.
And I think you've seen that out of Penske. Like I don't know where else you're going to find speed just because we've maximized it.
Yeah, the notebooks are 13 years long.
Yeah. So at least I guess maybe it doesn't seem as weird because Kirkwood's got 3 wins on street courses since Gateway is now officially street course.
True.
No, I mean, no, it adds up. No, never mind. It all makes sense. It's just the outlier. I guess the outlier is just the fact that stuff has happened to the Chevys on ovals pretty much.
Yeah.
And I agree. And then the Hondas have been there to lap it up, basically.
Yeah, agreed. I think that's completely a fair assessment. I think the ovals both should have gone to a Chevy and weird circumstances take place. Grant Palou probably could have won the 500 regardless. I don't know. I mean, it was between him and Ericsson. Ericsson wouldn't have won, but so it's just, I don't feel like it's that big divide like we've seen in the past between manufacturers, but it looks that way, doesn't it? Sure does.
Yeah. Yeah, so Chevy's basically Lotus now. That's what I've come to the conclusion of.
Essentially, yeah. They're terrible.
I mean, they're like Lotus if Lotus had like any amount of speed and was mildly competent, but
yeah, good points.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess that's about all.
That's all I got.
Yeah. Where do we go next?
Mid-Ohio.
Mid-Ohio. I attended this race last year.
Yes, you did.
It was not a great race.
I mean, it was a good finish.
It was a good finish, but it wasn't the greatest race, but that's okay.
I won, man. Like, fans love that stuff.
This is very true. I'm not saying I did not have a good time at Mid-Ohio, but
fair enough.
Yeah. Polo.
Nah.
I'm going out on a limb here.
It's not. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to be Polo.
Kirkwood?
No.
Part of me wants this to continue. Like I said, part of me wants maybe it's the cynical part of me. But,
I mean, it's also for the championship. I feel like you need it, right?
Oh, I mean, during Road America, like at some point in Road America, I was convinced that Kirkwood was going to win, and I was excited about that.
Yeah, I mean, he could have won right there. It would have been 5-4.
Yeah.
And so I'll go with Kirkwood. Why not?
Yeah.
Let's make it interesting.
We'll just do that the rest of the year. Like, as long as this continues.
Until somebody else wins. Yeah. Then we'll need to get a third person on here. We'll get Chuck on here and be like, all right, you pick the third guy who's won.
Chuck will be like, I haven't watched an IndyCar race since in the 500. I'll be like, I don't care.
Exactly. We're just telling you to get on here. Just pick one. You can pick Polo if you want, dude. I don't care.
Yeah. We'll give you first dibs.
Yeah.
But all right. We'll be back after that one. Hopefully, unless we get tired, don't feel like it. No, we'll
post something.
As close as I can get to committing to doing it, I'll commit to doing it. But yeah, that's been this. I've been Seth. He's been Matt. You've been the viewer, and we'll see you next time. Bye, Gary.